Hello, and welcome to episode 1 of the Runescape Chronicle Let's Play that I am beginning right now. So, before we begin actually playing, I suppose since it's the first episode and the game is relatively new, it just came out in beta a few days ago, I might first, for this episode, just go to my collection and explain how the game works. So, right now there are 4 classes. There is Raptor, Linza, Ariane, and Ozan, and a bunch of neutral cards. And each class, as you can see down the bottom here, has two types of cards. There are these ally cards that you pay money for and they give you some effect. Like this one, you pay and you lose 3 health and you gain 6 armor. That's fairly good. It's basically doubling 3 health because health is the same as armor in most circumstances, sometimes better. And monster cards, which are these ones where you play a monster card, it has its attack and life points in the top corners, and down the bottom it has any rewards you get. So some will give you more attack for yourself, some give you gold, some give you weapons, like this barbarian in the bottom corner. It gives you a weapon that boosts your attack by 2 for 3 turns, very similar to Hearthstone, for example. And some have more specific text on the cards. For this one, the rival takes 3 damage, or the rival loses 5 armor, draw a card, discard a card. It's obviously a bad effect, but it gives you an attack which is very powerful. It's one of the better cards in the game, the KPG agent, depending on what you're playing. And so Raptor has cards that often rely on armor, sometimes sacrificing health for armor. And he has a lot of abilities that benefit a lot from having armor. For example, this Tizar Ket card, if you have more armor than your rival, destroy all of your rival's armor, which is very powerful against, for example, another Raptor or perhaps a Linza, and deal 6 damage to them. Or this one allows you to spend 4 armor and gain 2 attack, which is very powerful. Again, even just 1 attack is a powerful effect. Linza tends to focus more on weapons. She'll play a weapon or a monster that gives her a weapon. For example, Goblin Raider gives her a 1/3. And then she'll want to follow that up with a lot of cards like this Living Rock Brawler, which gives the weapon +1/+1, or even Barrel Chest, which is +2/+2, which is very powerful. And she also has a lot of cards like this one, Hurl Weapon, rival takes damage equal to your weapon durability ×2, and you lose your weapon. So it's obviously a good way to start using your weapon to hit your rival, and then you get a new weapon and you buff it up again. Ariane is one of the stronger classes right now simply because of these two cards, Earth Wave and Earth Blast. She tends to focus a lot on direct damage and hand size. She has cards like these 3 on the right side, that gain benefits based on the number of cards in your hand. For Lady Helfin, gain 2 health for each card in your hand, and these 2, as I said before, the very powerful cards she has. Earth Blast is the basic version that everyone gets, and Earth Wave is a bit stronger. They basically both deal damage equal to double the cards in your hand. Earth Blast, obviously, as you can see, costs 8, while Earth Wave costs 5. And Earth Wave hits through armor, so if your rival has 10 armor, that doesn't matter. If they have 20 health and you have 10 cards, they're dead, no matter how much armor they have. But the additional downside of that is you discard all the cards in your hand. But also, as you can see, she has a lot of cards like Wizard Mind Bomb that draw 3 cards, and I am having trouble with the interface here. Sometimes it bugs out a little bit. These cards got a little peon that draws 2 cards and is very easy to kill. A lot of these cards are very beneficial for her, obviously, because she cares about hand size so much. And also she has a lot of these cards that just deal direct damage. This one obviously lose health. That's different again to Haunted Soul, which just takes damage. Takes damage, hits armor, lose health, does not care about your armor, it will just hit you. Ozan is also one of the very powerful classes right now, and the class I'll probably be playing in this video. He's very aggressive and cares a lot about gold, and so if you look at his support cards, he has a lot of things that, like Ling for the Assassin, for example. Rival takes damage equal to half of your gold, lose half of your gold. Or rival loses health equal to half their gold, and also you have cards like Pyramid Plunder, which allow you to give them gold. Also, Deadshot is one of his very powerful cards, especially if you can play it early on. You can play this as your second card if you get the right draws. And usually if you're playing this deck, you'll mulligan to try and get cards to allow you to play it on the second turn. Deadshot, if rival has more than 20 health, they take 10 damage. That's a third of their health gone on turn 2. And it's very easy to burn them down after that, especially with cards like Desert Snake, where you lose 3 health and they lose 5 health, and you can play that. If you're playing against Ariane, you can play that whenever. Against Linza and Raptor, who tend to build more armor, that's going to hit through their armor, so you save that and use it later on in the game. And it doesn't matter how much armor they've built up, they're still taking 10 damage if you play 2 of them. Okay, so that's the very basics. So let's jump into a game and see how that works out for us. We'll play with ranked. As you can see, I've been playing a little bit. I'm rank 34 at the moment. You start at rank 50 and work down to 1. I believe eventually there are going to be leagues, so you go from bronze to silver to gold to diamond. But for now in the beta, there's only rank 1 bronze, and then you can gain prestige ranks after that, which don't appear to affect anything as far as I'm aware. They're just for show offs. Perhaps if you get to rank 20, then you'll go down to 30 silver when that comes out later on in the beta. Okay, so we're playing Raptor, so I want this card later on. Like I said, it cares about armor. I also don't want these weapons too early, and I don't want this early because it cares about having a weapon. Battle Arrival again I don't really want, and Darren Lightfinger I probably also don't want. I'm only going to keep Pyramid Plunder here because it gives me 4 gold, which is enough to play Deadshot, which is, like I said, you're always going to mulligan for Deadshot. Unfortunately, we did not get Deadshot here, so I'm probably going to play Mischievous Imp and Gnome Guard. And yes, okay. So I might play Ling the Assassin here. It's going to deal 8 damage, which leaves him above 20, which means I can still play Deadshot next turn if I draw it. You draw, I believe it's 4 cards at the beginning of each turn, so hopefully we get it. Oh, obviously, yes, like Hearthstone, there are daily quests, but also weekly quests. Example, you can see here I've got a quest to defeat 20 enemies for my daily, and a quest to win 20 games, which I'm very close to. So, what are they playing? They seem to be drawing cards, and they've obviously, I assumed that was a penguin first, I wasn't actually paying attention, but they've gained an attack, so I assume that's how they got it. So, it can be interesting with the Imp and the Penguin. If you get them, you probably want to play them early on. Although the Imp can also be good on the last turn of the game, since it's a discard a card, and on the last turn, discard a card is completely irrelevant. But if you have bad cards in your hand, you probably want to play the Penguin first and throw one of them. But if you have good cards, you probably want to play the Imps first, so that you have a better chance of keeping the good cards. Of course, you might draw an even better card and discard that, but sometimes that's the risk you want to take. So, bit of a lag here waiting for each turn to start. I'm still not sure what the story behind that is. Alright, so at this point, I'm probably giving up on playing Deadshot. That's going to be a dead card when I draw it. So I'm going to look at what I can do. I want to play Bandit Camp right at the end there. That's very effective if he gains a lot of gold and doesn't spend it. If he spends the gold before I can do anything, then that's a problem, but we'll see what happens. I'll play Desert Snake also. The rest of these cards aren't really that good for me. I might play Dazing Shot first, actually. But yes, the rest of these cards aren't great right now. Oh, my hand disappeared. I assumed I'd be able to talk it through while he was taking his turn, but obviously he was a bit faster than me this time. He's playing a very aggressive Raptor. He's building a lot of attack, which means I probably want to kill him before the final round, because he'll probably win if he gets that far. Obviously, he just discarded a Saradomin Brew there with the Penguin, which is pretty bad for him. Saradomin Brew is one of Raptor's more powerful cards. He's lose 5 more health here. It's going to put him at 11. He will gain 3 armor to back that up, but it looks like he's losing 8 health to gain 2. Which, if I draw my Scorpion here, he's dead. And actually, I think he's dead. Okay, I just won, I think, because he'll lose half of his life, which hits through armor. Okay, well, that's an easy win for me. Might play another game. Obviously, at the end of each game, you can see I get a reward chest. This one is silver. For the first few games you win each day, I believe it's the first 3, you get a gold chest, but obviously I've already won a few today. And then for the next several games, I'm not sure how many, you get silver chests. And then after you get a bronze chest, which is a bit odd because you also get a bronze chest no matter what if you lose. So after you stop getting silver chests, it sort of becomes a point where it doesn't matter if you win or lose. apart from your rank, which also just doesn't matter at this point in time. We've got 2 store tokens and 5 crafting sapphires. That's a pretty low reward. Let's see, I believe I also completed, oh, 1 short on completing both quests. Well, I'll probably definitely be able to open at least 1 pack after the next game, show you what that looks like. Okay, did not level up either. Gain 1 of these tickets if I level up, which don't actually do anything yet. Not sure what they're going to be used for. If you go to the store, you can only spend these tokens, but not the credits. I don't really know what the difference is. We will find out sooner or later when they add that feature to the beta. Okay, we'll queue up again for ranked and see who we get. Snooty Cutie. Okay, so this is an Ariane, which is a very different playstyle for Ozan. Again, I don't really care about armor because she very rarely plays cards that give her armor. And she's also often going to be very aggressive towards me. I want to try and, if possible, keep my life above 20, because if she has 10 cards in her hand, she can one-shot me from there because of those earth cards I showed you earlier. Rival takes damage equal to the enemy's next attack. That's alright. Deadshot I want to keep. I'm actually fairly happy with this hand. I'm going to throw away the weapon and Ling because they're expensive and I don't have a lot of gold right now. Obviously I'm going to gain 4 gold from this, but I'm going to spend it right away. Ali Morisan, also a very good card early on. Lose your weapon, gain 3 gold. If you don't have a weapon, you still gain that 3 gold, so you want to be drawing that before you draw your weapons and playing it. Alright. Play Ali Morisan, and then actually I'll play him last, and then I'll play Ali Morisan. So I'm going to deal 15 damage to my enemy this turn and take at least 3. Okay, she's obviously doing a lot of damage back to me as well, so gonna take some damage. 4 damage to deal 5 to me. I would consider that a bad move, even though I'm taking more, just because Raptor is a very aggressive class, and you don't want to be giving away your life points to him. Like, Raptor is one of those cards that if he gets to the end battle, he's probably in a bad spot, especially with this deck. There are some decks with him that are alright, but I wouldn't want to try it with this one. So she's going to be down to 11 at the end of this turn. Oh no, she's going to heal up a little bit. So she'll be down to 13, I believe. Yes. And I'll be down to 19. See, my daily quest just popped there. Give me 30 credits. That's nice. I'll claim that. It'll probably let me claim it right now, but the game's so glitchy that I don't want to try because I don't want to break anything. I'll wait till after the match. I've had rewards before that I've lost from claiming them at the wrong point in time, and I don't want to do that again. Okay. Scorpion is an alright play right now, so is Dazing Shot. I'm probably going to play both of them regardless of what I draw, unless I draw something that just wins me the game. There's always this waiting for opponent thing at the start of each round. I'm not sure what that's about, to be honest. Okay. I'm probably going to play Scorpion. No, I'm going to play Dazing Shot first. And I'll play the Black Arm Bandit, give me some gold. Then I'll play Death Lotus and this, which is going to deal 11 damage at least. Okay. Actually, okay, she goes, win game, there you go. Sometimes this happens. The daily quests and epic quests pop as soon as you end the turn in which you win. Sometimes it waits until you actually win, sometimes it doesn't. That's 2 fairly quick games. I suppose I'll make a decent length video. Both on chapter 2, which is kind of rare, but both of these opponents have been very aggressive, which you don't see very often. And obviously she's gonna go first and deal 4 damage to me, but that doesn't matter because obviously this Death Lotus assassin is what won it for me. And even if it didn't have the Scorpion over the hill. So yeah, there's some very effective games. Okay, so like I said, I should be able to show you at least 1 pack opening after this game, maybe 2 if I get good rewards. Lots of crafting sapphires, not many tokens. Sapphires are pretty worthless. Like, even the most common cards you get out of packs are worth 20 sapphires, so let's see what we get. Results, rank 29. Okay, we're climbing up the ranks pretty quickly with this deck since I started playing it. And let's go to the store and buy a pack. Oops, obviously, I've got to claim my rewards first. 130 more. Very close to a second pack, so probably next episode, unless I start earning bronze chests, which very rarely give you tokens, I'll be able to show you a pack opening again. One for now though. Let's open the booster. Buy the booster, then open it. It's a bit of a slow process. You have to jump around all over the place, but let's see what we get. So the cards all stack up like this, and the rarer cards are always at the back of the pack. So if the rarity goes blue, which is sapphire, ruby, no, sapphire, emerald, ruby, diamond, I believe. The rarest I've got so far is an emerald. A raptor card, war tortoise, spend 0 gold and 4 armor, and draw 4 cards. That seems quite good. Although Raptor often isn't lacking for cards. I'm not sure if that would go in my Raptor deck or not. I'd have to look and see what I could take out for it. Next up, we get a card that everyone can use. Lose 5 health for 4 gold. It's a very aggressive card. Could go well in my Ozan deck. That's worth a thought. I might look at that too later. Linza, Flurry, 0 gold, strike your next enemy. Okay, so I believe that doesn't mean opponent. So that's pretty good if you've got some very strong enemies in your deck. You can take them out without having a chance for them to hit you. You basically get to hit them twice before they hit you. And a lot of the strong enemies do very powerful things when you hit them. For example, there's one card I heard about, Zimmereagle, who apparently can do 30 damage in one turn, but is very hard to kill, and often will kill you. With a card like that, I imagine he wouldn't be so much of a problem. Okay, so we're going to get at least 2 emerald cards from this pack. Another card for Linza, the Dust Devil. It's a 2/5, so it's fairly easy to kill for Linza. She often can get weapons that will take a 2/5 out very nicely in one turn. You lose your weapon, but rival loses 1 attack. I assume that's a permanent lose 1 attack? It's actually alright. And you could really screw up an enemy with that if they've played an enemy that they're only just going to kill, but is going to do a lot of damage to them. If they don't kill it, that enemy is going to get to hit them. And in general, yeah, that actually seems quite powerful. I might look into building a deck around that if I get another one. And Chaotic Longsword. Gee, a lot of Linza cards in this pack. It's another Emerald card, so I still haven't opened any Ruby or Diamond cards. This is 4 gold, and you get a 6/2 weapon. Yeah, I mean, that's alright. It's solid. Not the best card, but not the worst either. I mean, against Linza, playing Linza, typically you want weapons with lower attack and higher durability just because they last longer and you can build up the attack anyway, but I suppose you can play that with a card that gives you more durability and then you've got a fairly good weapon. Actually, the other thing I've just noticed on this Dust Devil card is that it says lose your weapon, not spend your weapon. The difference being if I break my weapon on this card or I just kill it without having a weapon, I still gain that effect. So that's actually even better than I first evaluated it at. Okay, so I'm going to end this episode here. I'll probably record a few more today, but if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, and in a few episodes, when I can record a next round of episodes, I'll make sure to answer them. And thank you for watching.